absolutely love. We were talking about it organically just because Monday sell off, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday bounce back in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Today, Friday sell off. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, it's pretty much a two-sided market, I would say, which is new, I think, for cryptocurrencies
Yeah.
in general. And it's a sign to me that more participants are entering the market, but also people are trying to figure out fair value. I don't want to use that term because it's always like, oh, how do you fair value, discount the cash flows or whatever. But really, there are differing opinions on where the price of crypto should be. And the run-up we saw over the last year where Ethereum was less than $1,000 down to $200, all the way up to almost 5,000. I mean, that was just strong bullish momentum. You really don't want to fade that. And we've seen kind of squeezes in stocks that push things this way. What I love to see in crypto now is the market has really developed. You have institutional players joining and participating, hedge funds, retail traders, market makers. Everybody is here. And now you have indecisiveness on where pricing should be. And that creates trading opportunity for short-term retail traders to buy and sell some of that mean reversion we talk about so often.
That's absolutely right. Like I am really getting jazzed about this cryptocurrency market. And you might say, wow, Frank, like you're really freaking late to the game. Like the people who were here on this corner in 2015 and even earlier, they're already on a beach somewhere. And it's like, that's great for them. I say this, but then I always inevitably get like a comment on Twitter or YouTube where it's like, obviously this guy is like really sad that he didn't get in on crypto. I have like those people who made a bunch of money off of buying and holding crypto, super, super excited for them. I'm so excited that we now have this market that, like Mikey says, has kind of graduated from being just like zero value to a lot of value. And now it's like, where is the fair value? Like we're somewhere around it here. Like I wouldn't be surprised necessarily if we get to 100,000 or if we get back down to 10,000, but we at least have a good basis now of like, we're within a couple 10,000 points of it, as opposed to years ago where it's like, should this be trading for 2 pennies or 3 pennies? And now it's trading for tens of thousands. So like we're close to it. We're trying to find that fair value. This is really where the fun begins for the active trader. And like I say, I don't like to get, I am really liking to trade crypto. I don't like to get lumped in with the hodlers because I hope that they're kind of graduating to the idea of like, oh, I can sell this thing too. Like I can buy it, I can make money, I can sell it out, and I can buy it lower again. Or I can buy it, I can sell it, it can go way higher, I can sell it, and I can make money buying it back lower. It's a risk. It manages a lot of your risk, and it just creates, I think, a more, just a longer term trade for yourself, as opposed to like, I'm buying it, I'm never getting rid of it, and my portfolio is going to live and die on this thing just going way higher. It's created. I mean, you look at the trade from 2016 until now, and it's up. Okay, you look at the trade this year. This is a great market to be trading both sides of. I've likened it to interest rates in the past. This recent price action. I mean, tell me that this isn't a nice mean reverting trade, been as high as 60,000, as low as 30,000, smack dab in the middle of it here today, Mikey.
Yeah, when you look at that longer term chart, it's so nice to see that we've had highs of 6,500 and we've had lows of 30,000 in Bitcoin. And we're just somewhere right in the middle, which is basically like it's anyone's game, where at the advent of crypto, it was a lot of engineers who I dare to say weren't really trading this product. They were kind of interested in the technology. And I came from this side a little bit too, and just wanted to see where it went and what would happen with it. And you had a lot of predecessors to Bitcoin, like DigiGold and stuff like that, that just kind of phased out. And Bitcoin happened to be the one that went under the radar for long enough to build a secure network. But now you have people with access to a platform like Tastyworks or an exchange like Coinbase or Kraken or any of these that supports active trading. And you're seeing the choppy two-sided markets and the liquidity that supports trading mean reversion around these highs and around these recent lows. And it always kind of amazes me that I'm not a big technical analysis guy in traditional markets. I started trading that way and really veered away from the chart in recent years, trying to implement more strategy and probability-based options trading. But in crypto, you have a lot of new traders who actually recognize and kind of appreciate support and resistance levels. And I think what you've shown in this longer term chart here kind of demonstrates that as well, where we're in between the recent lows and the recent highs, and people are watching those key levels as entry and exit points.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's even so for coins that are showing greater growth potential, like Ethereum and like Cardano and some of those other spots that, like, yes, they are still growing, where the growth phase in Bitcoin, we might be past it a little bit. But even the ones that are in the midst of growing from, like you said to start the show, $200 to $4,000, great price action around this as well here in Ethereum. And yeah, like you say, Mikey, I'm really excited for people who were in on the ground floor and obviously bought it and just held it until it skyrocketed. Now that you understand that it's not like it's funny because it's the exact same thing as the big movement when derivatives started to become popular in the last decade, Mikey, and people are talking about like, oh, I'm shorting the stock market, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And talking heads would come out and say, that's unpatriotic. Like you hate the United States and you hate all these companies because you're getting short. And it's like, no, I have a 401k that's long all of these companies. You never hope that like, the idea was like, oh, if you short the stock market, you want people to lose their jobs and these companies to go down the drain. It's like, no. I'm just an active trader who's saying this is the statistics around the stock market. It's blown those statistics out. It should come back a little bit. And when it comes back a little bit, I'm going to get out for a profit. Same thing here in crypto. Like, you don't have to kill everyone who's not a hodler for life, because it's just a matter of like, I bought it low, it went really high, I got rid of it, and then it went really high, something that I think is maybe unsustainable. I got short and it came back a little bit, and I can always have coins in my wallet working in the background as my investment piece. But I mean, you look at this market, Mikey, and especially until the last couple of weeks in the equity market, you have not seen both sides of an equity trade. Here in Ethereum, you've got a market that has more than doubled and then got cut in half and now is trading right in the middle of the range. I mean, as someone who day trades and trades day to day sometimes on just like mere, this is the average price and these are the standard deviations. And if we get to an outlier move, that's my opportunity. This is ripe with those opportunities.
Yeah, not to mention spot crypto is 24 hours a day, and hope someday the small exchange can offer that capability as well. But then you also have a market here that is basically a zero correlation to anything else. I mean, it's truly distinct. So when equity markets sold off on Monday, crypto was down as well, and then equities rallied a little harder than ETH and Bitcoin did. But when you're looking at an equity market that's just grinding higher and you want something to do, of course, include all the commodities like interest rate, corn and oil and foreign exchange, but also don't neglect some of these other commodity type crypto assets because they're kind of in their own realm. And one thing I'm super excited about with the small cryptocurrency index feature is that you can actually short and use it as a hedge to a core portfolio of coins that you may have. So finally, you can short sell as a hedge, and it's not betting against the underlying asset in any way, like shorting a stock. It's really just protecting some of those gains that you may have already locked in, and you're expecting a short-term sell-off, maybe some binary announcement or going for the weekend, whatever it may be. Finally, you can do that.
Yeah, for both newcomers to this sector, this asset class, I guess I'm better off saying, and people who are well-versed, who are looking for cheap, easy hedges, this SCCX is going to be really fantastic. You can see here on Monday, the index value in red trading with Bitcoin. And it's not one for one, but when Bitcoin moved to the downside, so does small crypto. When it bounces back, so does small crypto. And it's going to be a market. You look at that left-hand y-axis that traded from a high of 28.5 down to 27.5 and then bounced back about 50 cents. That's $100 move and a $50 bounce back relative to thousands of dollars in Bitcoin and the Bitcoin futures, and even hundreds in the micro Bitcoin futures. A really nice small market to hedge your crypto exposure, or just get in on some of the price action that we're talking about here today. I think as these markets mature and we find some semblance of a trading range, I would contend that we're already kind of there. I think the range has been put in, at least in the short term, of 30,000 to 60,000 in Bitcoin. And right now, like I say, we're hugging the middle of that. You got to start getting into this maturing market in terms of its price action, because there's going to be a day. I mean, I'm not going to be one of these people that like Bitcoin is going to be part of your everyday life in 10 years, but there's likely going to be a day, if this industry continues to mature and become part of big companies like PayPal and Apple and otherwise, there's going to be a day where Bitcoin isn't moving thousands. It's moving tens, 20s. It's going to be like gold in that fashion. I know the similarities. Oh, it's like digital gold. I don't care about any of that stuff, but the price action is going to be like that, man. Like so seldom do we find a completely new asset class invented out of nothing. And you have to take advantage of trading that while you can, or else it will become this like, oh, gold just fell $10. It's like, it used to fall $100. Like, what the heck are we doing here? Bitcoin's the same thing. So we're excited about the product. We're excited for people to get into the price action and just not just hodling, but trading both sides, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. And one of the most fun things about it is that we have people in the office who think Bitcoin's going to 100,000, and we have some people in the office who think Bitcoin's going to 0, and that creates a great trading opportunity. It
makes for the best market, dude. Like, as opposed to, oh, I think S&Ps are going to 4,500 or they're going to 4,300. That stinks. Like, we have a market here where, yeah, there's people on both sides who think it's going to double or it's going to go to dust. It's really a beautiful thing. I'm excited to trade that. It makes for the best volatility, the best opportunity, the best price action. So get ready for it, people. Small crypto, all of that stuff in a small package. Mikey, thanks so much for joining me here on Friday afternoon. It's always fun to have you on, man. You're repping your Pitchfork Music Festival swag from last week, which makes me question. I always think, like, if I bought a band tee at a shirt, a band tee at a concert, at a show, when is an okay time for me to wear it? It's kind of like the idea of, like, I met someone. When can I call them? Like, I got their number. Should I call them the next day? Should I call them the next month? I forget what movie it is, but they're like, when's the next leap year? You know, like, you could call them that. But like with the band shirt, it's always, I used to, when I was in high school, I would get a shirt at like Pitchfork on Friday and I'd wear it Saturday. And I'm sure everyone was like, what a loser.
Oh, my God. I so imagined you as a purist who would like buy the shirt, set it aside, and then like 3 years later, like rep the Pitchfork 2018 edition.
That is where I've gotten, honestly. Like, I'll buy this thing, for instance. I got this like two years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and I didn't wear it a lot. And you put it aside, like letting a nice bottle of wine age, and then you whip it out like 2 or 3 years after it's relevant, and people are like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. Like, it's like wearing Doge stuff like in 3 years. That would be kind of similar.
My worst fear is I'll walk around and like see someone with the same shirt because it's so easy. And then I'm like, dang.
Yeah, that's why you got to be careful. You want to wear it because it's cool, but you got to give it time, or else you don't seem cool. But anyways, Mikey, you're always cool. Thanks for joining me. Splash in the Futures coming up next, everybody. Thanks for watching. Stick around.